What are the main differences between smaller wheels and your standard size wheels, and why are smaller wheels so much harder to skate? Now I'll get into the cons and why smaller wheels are so much harder to skate, but there are a lot of positives that come with smaller wheels. Riding smaller wheels makes your setup sit closer to the ground, which means you can pop your tail and your nose faster, so you get a quicker snap when you're popping. They make your whole setup lighter, so flip tricks work faster and easier. It's so much harder to get wheel bite because your wheels sit a lot lower to where your board sits. So I'm about to test these wheels out for the first time. I've never ridden wheels this small before. This is a 45mm wheel from Boardy. That's a skater-owned company in Philadelphia that specializes in wheels like this, which is really small and it actually changes color with the temperature. So when these are cold, they're a really light blue, but at the moment they're white, but you can kind of see the blue tinge on them. Shout out to Marcus from American Wood Skate Boutique for sending me these wheels, because I think they're actually going to be pretty fun. Now I'm still riding the 10-inch popsicle board from Smoke Beer from my last video, and it's going to look completely ridiculous having a 45mm wheel on such a giant board. I usually ride 54mm wheels, which is what these are, and these are the Spitfire tablet shape. So going down to a 45mm wheel is going to feel so insane, especially on such a giant board like this. So I'm going to set these up and get into skating straight away because I feel like they're going to be so much fun on this setup. And once I have a little warm up and get used to these wheels, I'll get into the cons of having smaller wheels and why they are so much harder to skate. Big flat spot. These wheels are actually skating surprisingly well, and to be honest, these are the wheels I'm going to keep on this 10-inch board. It kind of counteracts how heavy and how big this setup is with the 10-inch popsicle board. Having the 45mm wheels brings it closer to the ground, makes it pop faster, and it makes it a little bit lighter when I'm doing flip tricks too. But the negatives, the cons, and what makes smaller wheels so much harder to skate is the actual size of them. Because they're so small, they roll so much slower than normal wheels, and they roll a lot rougher on the ground too. You can feel every little line, every little crack in the ground because of how small these are. It makes them so hard to ride. Luckily, these specific wheels are a 97A, so they're a little bit softer than your standard 99A wheel. So it's making my ride here a little bit smoother. Another negative that I'm starting to feel as well is because they're so small, it makes it harder to lock in and hold longer grinds. When I was doing feebles on the flat bar and crooked grinds on the ledge, I didn't feel very stable at all. I was able to do those tricks, but it felt like I could have just slipped out any second. And the biggest negative is what I just experienced just then. I did a back disaster on the quarter pipe, dropped back in, hit a rock, and I got a flat spot straight away. And you can hear how bad it is as well. So small wheels like this are definitely not worth skating long term. There's so many negatives that come with it. There are positives that come with them, but the negatives definitely outweigh the positives. But for this specific setup, I am actually enjoying these wheels a lot. It actually helps lighten my board and make it more skatable. So I'm going to keep skating because I want to ride that flat spot out of the wheel. It should come out if I keep skating, but I'm going to set a challenge for myself, and I've been meaning to learn this trick for a long time. I feel like these small wheels are going to help with nose slide and then popping up into a crooked grind. Because the wheels aren't big at all, I feel like I can just get that wheel up from the nose slide and pinch up onto a crooked grind. I've never done that trick before. I've wanted to learn it for a long time, so I'm going to try that, and I feel like these wheels will be the secret to helping me learn that trick. But then there's some more tricks I want to get at this skate park while I'm here. Let's get into the challenge first. I'm definitely gonna have to take the L on that one. That trick is just not working for me. I'm sure if you know how to nose slide and pop up to crook, having a smaller wheel like this will help you get up into it, but I don't know how to do that trick, so it's just not working for me. I just spent an hour not landing it, so I'm exhausted. I did forget to mention the flip tricks are working really well on this board. Because it's a smaller wheel, I'm closer to the ground, and the board is lighter, the flip tricks are working so much better. So I'm giving up on the challenge. I'm just gonna keep skating and have some fun here. So let's see what other tricks we can cook up at this park. What was that? So despite all the negatives that come with skating small wheels, there are still a lot of positives, and I had a really fun session tonight skating these wheels. They made this setup feel so much lighter, my flip tricks were working a lot better, but I was losing my speed a lot at this skate park. I could feel these wheels gripping to the ground a lot because they're so small. I was losing my speed so much. And crooked grinds on the ledge, and especially that feeble that I just did in the end on that round rail. Because the wheel's so small, they do lock in, but it doesn't feel very stable. I was actually so scared to try that feeble on that round rail at the end there. And the biggest and most annoying negative is the flat spot that I got tonight, and it just kept going all night. When I'm riding Spitfire Formula 4s, if I do happen to get a flat spot, which is really rare, it just rides out within like 15 minutes. So a small wheel like this did not ride out the same, and the flat spots just kept going on all night. So they are the main differences between smaller wheels and your regular size wheels, and why smaller wheels are so much harder to skate. Check out the video I did on the Spitfire tablets right here. They are the wheels I was riding just before these. Let me know what size wheel you're riding right now and what's perfect for your skating, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.